Hey guys, how's it going? It's been a little while. My voice kind of sounds crappy because I'm just getting over COVID. I got it a few days ago and had a nightmare, and now I feel a lot better. The biggest thing for me this summer was actually taking a huge break from like climbing and arboriculture culture. I still work in tree care, but it's just it's a job. That's how I've been treating it for a little while, just to give myself a break. So this is obviously my basement. I don't think I've recorded down here except for when I had a studio built over here. And over the past couple months, I reconfigured my basement because of the impending cold weather here in Minnesota. I actually have been working on building bikes, and that's been kind of my creative and hobby interest for this summer, fall, and now winter. So this is all set up like a bike shop basically, except I've got storage for my climbing gear down here now, and then some of my other treatment gear is stowed away. So here's kind of the view overall. Just ignore my clothes and junk. I've got a desk set up here with just miscellaneous tools and my bike book and just some components that I've yet to put on bikes. These are for an upcoming project I'll be working on. Here's a bunch of extra tires, and the main thing I've been working on down here is a project that I'm building for my brother. This Schwinn Sierra frame was in the dumpster at work, and I ended up taking it out of the metal recycling dumpster and cleaning a bunch of the components, buying some new components like this handlebar and the shifter, and just changing up basically everything on here, to be honest, to make it a whole new ride. My youngest brother is taller than me. I'm hoping that frame works for him. If not, I'll make him something else. Yeah, that's the shop, basement shop. So those are just two of the bikes. I've got maybe at one point I had 10 bikes in my garage, all kind of in various states of work. So let me show you one more. This is actually the first bike that I worked on this summer. Oh, and by the way, this is where the old studio used to be. So I used to have my desk with the monitors kind of facing towards the wall. And that's where I kind of intended to have this whole YouTube studio, but I don't mean to be dramatic, but I kind of gave up that kind of stuff. Like I just want to record videos. Like right now, I feel like recording, just because I have excess energy, I guess. Basically, when my dog passed away, I kind of needed a hobby to fill in time, because I spent a lot of my time walking my dog, hanging out with the dog, playing with the dog, doing stuff like that. So since I didn't have that thing to do anymore, I decided to work on bikes. And around that time is when I was driving down the back street behind my house, and there was just this bike sitting out with a bunch of other junk that some college kids were kind of just throwing out. This frame it's still kind of beat up looking, which I like. I like putting kind of like cherry stuff onto a rugged looking frame. So this frame just had like little teeny 26-inch wheels. It was real beat up. Handlebars were weird, had these weird like zebra grips on them. It was not a road bike like this is. It's almost like a hybrid bike where it had chunkier wheels and a wider, upright handlebar. What I did was kind of reimagine this bike as a road bike, and so that's what it became. Kind of built this from the ground up. So the only thing original from this bike is really just the frame. All like the cranks and the pedals and chain rings and cassette, derailleur, front fork, handlebar, stem, and tires are all completely different. So I found a really nice bike mechanic who helped me out with a lot of questions and helped me start this journey. And so I made a really cool connection. But anyway, it looks cool. It's got blue, it's got yellow. I tried to keep the blue matching with the Trek logo, and I just really liked the color of this frame. And right now it has this red tire on it on this bike trainer. So that's a special tire just used indoors, and I just pedal and watch like political YouTube to get pumped up. So yeah, we got my road bike, my Marlin. I guess we can go outside and to my garage and I'll show you my other bikes real quick. And I didn't quite make it to the garage, but here's my next bike. I was expecting snow, so I busted out the shovels and got a fat bike put together. This is a Surly Pugsley, so I'm really happy with the way this bike turned out. I added the orange grips and cables and pedals to add some flair, but it was otherwise kind of an all black affair. But it's got the big 4-inch wide tires, and this is going to be a really fun trail bike for the winter. I've got it set up with this massive cassette. I love how that's as big as a dinner plate and that's as small as like a teacup saucer. It's so cool. It's a little dirty because I rode it the other day. I'll probably take it out maybe tomorrow. I've already put some scratches on it, which wasn't that cool. I ran into a concrete kind of edge on a wall. So yeah, that sucked. But it still looks cool. Farm Implement Black is a great spray paint for this bike because it had quite a bit of rust down here and some parts where it wasn't cleaned and dried properly. So I'm just trying to take care of it now. But yeah, she's a beaut. I have made videos in the garage space. It's been a little while, but this is where I've shot like my Obsession gear bag review and a couple other things. I still have a climbing line, but I've got some of those bike lift things installed around it because I had too many bikes at one point. But right now I just have my wife has a road bike and a gravel bike. Still have some tree gear here. There's my big Obsession bag. That's out here. I still climb. I still do all that stuff. Here is it's been ransacked. This looks terrible. This is a really organized shop this winter, this summer, but this winter has made it a trash heap. Well, I made it a trash heap. Got some miscellaneous components. That was where a lot of my wheels were stored. Now they're in the basement. I got some handlebars and just garbage kind of all over the place here. Some extra chains. This is kind of where I have extra cable. I have a verified bike shop in this space. And this is another Gary Fisher Marlin frame that I took a bunch of parts from, and now I think I might actually be building this bike back up to sell at some point. In the meantime, my future project is going to be this Raleigh Olympian frame. It's kind of a low-end Raleigh bike frame, but oh my gosh, look, I forgot how rusty this is too. This is the condition I got the bike in, except for these are newer tires I just put on to check to see if they would fit. I think these maybe are the originals. Some of the stuff that I've been collecting is going to be basically garbage. It's kind of the future project that I'm sure I'm going to sink too much time and money into, but I really liked the Raleigh head badge on here. This bike was free, and I've spent maybe $60 in like some parts that I'm going to put on it in the future. So maybe about 80 bucks I've got into it already. No time yet, but just money put into it. So I guess the time to pick it up. So that's bike number 4 and 5 tentatively. Those other 2 I showed on the ceiling, those are my wife's, so they don't count. This is actually the newest bike that I purchased. I just rode this today. I took a really nice ride along the Mississippi and struggled on some of the trails because they were pretty wet. So I actually put this through a lot of pavement time today, which isn't what the bike is intended for, but whatever. I just wanted to get out and ride it. I'm super happy with it. I've never owned a Salsa bike, and it was kind of a goal to like get one. It's the most modern bike that I do own. My old mountain bike is actually up here on the wall, and this is one I have currently listed on Facebook Marketplace, and if it doesn't sell, I'm not going to be too downtrodden. I might actually I don't know. I might steal all the parts, but for now, it's suspended as a for sale bike. My real pride and joy of this past summer has been this Surly Troll. They don't make these bikes anymore, and this thing is a beast. It's heavy. It's a really cool, interesting color. It's set up as basically a commuting bike, but I powered through what's called the country style 50 mile with some friends this fall, and there was a 50-mile ride on trails, and it's a Surly, and if you're familiar with the Surly brand, it's pretty sought after, really cool. I love it. It's a fast bike once you get going. These big tires just worked on literally all terrain. Like, they're called extraterrestrial. They're fat, they're fast, it's a clean bike. I don't know, I loved it. Either end of November or really early December, I hit 1,000 miles on my bike, or collected bikes, and that was a really proud moment that just cemented like a goal I didn't know I was working toward. And it just, you think about the time you spend doing something, every mile, I don't know what it is time wise, but it was a lot of time I've spent on bikes, and going slower and ditching my car and getting around more on two wheels just to go places just felt so much more freeing and enjoyable. My family and my wife especially have been supportive. Friends have been super supportive, and if not like surprised how much I'm just into bikes now. I'm a bike guy. There's a pretty solid crossover between bike guys and tree guys, or tree people in general, and so I'm just kind of living up to that, I guess. And I was gonna record more like bike vlogs and stuff. I even recorded some video, but it was really bad and boring. And like, there's a thing to be said about like people who do labor. We all do shop work. I think a lot of us who are tree people, bike people, whatever kind of hobby you have, you like the shop work. And the shop work can be writing, it can be doing weaving, or any sort of like textile, or art or anything like that. That's you in the shop, that's in your flow, and it's hard to record that on film sometimes and have it be interesting. So what I did instead of like record stuff was just do stuff, and I think that's kind of like the basis of being creative, or having something to say or output, is to just work and learn and kind of humble yourself. I feel like I lost my voice, and so I didn't want to speak. It just made me kind of do a self-check and just say, hey, for now, I don't think anyone needs to hear you talk. And maybe no one still does, but I just felt like it this time. For now, I just wanted to say hello again, and I'll probably post sooner